Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to tonight, our Tuesday night edition of 21 Days. This is session 6 of our Journey Within series of the 21 Days program. Some of you have been with us all these 59 days, and we're so happy that you're back again today, that we can all be together. Today, as we may already have experienced, it's easy to get stuck in our Agnya Chakra, distracted by thoughts and battling our own ego from thoughts from past and future. But today, we'll focus on opening the pathway from Agnya to Sahasrara, just a short leap from Agnya to Sahasrara, but a very important one. And today, we'll have a lot of help from our wonderful lead, whom I'll introduce in just a few minutes, who will help us with songs and guided meditation with all of her generous creativity. So if this is your very first time to Sahaja Yoga meditation, or if it's your very first time to, in 21 days, which may be your first time to Sahaja Yoga meditation as well, please type this in the Zoom chat. And we will move you into a breakout room for a short time with an experienced practitioner who can give you a very practical and experiential introduction so that you'll know what's going on when you're then introduced back into the main room. So it is my pleasure then at this moment to introduce our lead tonight. Hello, Purnima. Hello, so good to see you. Well, I did see you, but we'll see you again, I'm sure. There you are, yay. Yay, Purnima. Purnima lives in Boston in the USA, and Purnima has been practicing Sahaja Yoga since birth, I guess we could say. She is an actress and a musician, and tonight it is her creative juices are going to flow once again for us to help us understand crossing from Agnya to Sahasrara. So we're all just delighted that Purnima is here, and she'll guide us through a foot soak as well as her own creative offerings. So welcome, Purnima. Glad to see you there.
Thank you so much. And welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you all. We're going to have some fun tonight and have some lovely meditation together and see if we can make this tricky journey. Actually, it happens very spontaneously to go from Agnya to Sahasrara. And then the trick is to stay there and to really establish ourselves in meditation. So we'll come at it from a few different angles. And the first way that we'll approach this is by having our nice foot soak. So hopefully everyone has a nice bucket of water ready, some rinse water, and a towel. And let's go ahead and get started. So we can start by raising our Kundalini and putting Bandhan. You're probably all familiar with this. Right hand wrapping around the left, tying a knot at the crown of the head. The second time tying 2 knots. And the third time tying 3. And then putting ourselves in a bandhan of protection 7 times over and back. And let's go ahead and activate our foot soak water, or vibrate it, you could say. So you're going to take your right hand and just make a circle with your right hand above the water in a clockwise direction. And by doing this, we're just asking this element of water and the element of the salt, which represents the earth, to activate on the subtle level, to cleanse us. And then we can go ahead and put our feet in. Sitting with your hands open on your lap. And you can keep your eyes open as well. It's really nice to look at the photograph that we have here. Or if you have a candle, like I do here, you can look towards the candle. And let's start off by putting our right hand towards the Mother Earth. And from our hearts, we can just ask the earth to receive and cleanse any heat coming from our left channel. You can check in with your body, see if you're holding tension anywhere, and just allow that to relax. Just letting go of it into the earth. And then let's bring our right hand back onto our lap. Take a moment and just feel the difference between your 2 hands. One might feel a little lighter than the other. And just notice if your body and your thoughts are starting to relax. Now we can leave the right hand open, bringing the left hand to point up towards the element of the air, with the palm facing backwards over the left shoulder. And in our hearts, we can ask this refreshing element of the air to receive and cleanse any heat, any irritation or crankiness, any overdrive that's bothering our right side. Just let it out like a chimney. And again, just pay attention to whether you're sort of tensing up or forcing it in any way. And just invite some lightness, some ease. When you're ready, gently relax that hand back down. Again, just noticing if you feel a difference between the two hands, and also a difference within yourself. Are things settling? Now we're going to put our attention onto the central channel within us, which rises from the base of the spine up through our body. And as we know, all the mantras that we've learned start with this word Om. It's a really beautiful, deep word. And it's a word that invites the Kundalini energy, the motherly energy within us to rise. So let's sing this word together 3 times. And using the right hand, we'll guide up the center of our body, somewhat slowly. So see if you can really feel this energy rising up through your being. Here we go. Again. And once more. Now leave your hand above your head for a moment. See if you feel any cool energy flowing into your hand, or you may feel some heat being released. If you don't feel anything yet, that's okay too. You can feel with the other hand for a moment. And then bring it down. You can actually take your fingertips and just feel on either side of your forehead. There's a little area here, which is kind of the exhaust area or exhaustion area from the activity of our left and right channel. We've spoken about this before, how the left and the right both kind of end in a little bit of a dead end. And the left ends in what we call the superego, kind of comes here and around the back. And it's the voice that kind of talks to us from the past or from our habits, our conditionings. And the right side culminates in that familiar fellow, Mr. Ego. And that's kind of the voice that, tells us how great we are and also bugs us about, what we should be doing in the future and a lot of plans. So we're going to take a mantra which we've done before, which is Om, Hum, Ksham. And hum in Sanskrit means I am. So it's a way of affirming against our fears, against our habits. And Ksham means I forgive. And forgiveness is one of the best ways to let go of the ego. So we're actually going to give ourselves a little tap here. So the right hand is going to bump against the right forehead here, and the left hand against the left side, as we say Om, Hum, Ksham. Okay, so hum is with the right hand, ksham is with the left. And let's do this 4 times all together and just see what happens. Try it as an experiment. Om, Hum, Ksham. Om, Hum, Ksham. Om, Hum, Ksham. Om, Hum, Ksham. And then raise your attention once again up the central channel. Just see if a little extra space has opened up for you. I really love this exercise, the hum ksham, because sometimes you do just need a little bump on the head to remind you, or I'll say to remind me, where joy actually lives. And the truth is, joy doesn't come from all these thoughts, all this inner chatter. It lives in this space above our head, the Sahasrara. Let's take your right hand and give yourself a nice massage on the Sahasrara chakra, as we've done before. Moving the hand in a clockwise direction. And then letting it float once more above the head. Now we can go ahead and finish off our foot soak part of our meditation. So I like to brush off my hands if there's any lingering heat or catches there. And you can brush off your legs as well into your bowl. And give your feet a nice rinse. And what I like to do is just give one more bandhan like this to the water so that all the gunk that's gone into there can stay there until we have a chance to dump it out. And then just set your bowl aside. So you can keep your hands open on your lap. I'm going to share a few little tools and a little bit of music and poetry, because that's always fun. But from meditation is a really beautiful state to face yourself and notice what you're doing to get in your own way, or once you've arrived in meditation, what it is that might bring you back down. Because, I've been meditating for about 35 years, which is my whole life. And one of the things I find is that even though we know this state and we're established in it, there can be things that bring us back down. And so a big piece of our work is recognition and that willingness to playfully, lovingly, but with alertness, face ourselves. So with that in mind, I want to share a poem with you. This is a Shakespeare sonnet. And in it, Shakespeare talks about this thing that artists often do, which is, and actually everyone does, which is we compare ourselves to each other. Oh, that guy, he has a lot of friends. I wish I had that. Or, oh, wow, she's so good at her job. I wish I had that. And we get spinning into these thoughts pretty fast, And he talks in this poem about, then I think on thee. And you could say the thee is the person he loves, but to me, the thee, the person he's speaking to, is the divine, the energy that transcends all this thinking. And he describes how in that moment, his state, the quality of his attention, rises up like a bird at dawn and sings prayers at the gates of heaven. So I'll share this little poem and then we'll see where we go from there. So go ahead and open your hands and just enjoy this as part of your meditation. When in disgrace, with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him of friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet, in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee. And then my state like to the lark, at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. So I use that poem sometimes as a little mantra to remind myself not to take things too seriously, and, you know, that joy, that sense of being on top of the world that comes from actually releasing your thoughts, releasing your comparisons. But what you'll notice is that Shakespeare's actually very specific about the things that he's comparing to other people. And so this comes to another beautiful and important word in Sahaja Yoga, which is introspection. Literally, it means intro, which is within. Spection means to look. So introspection is not, to overthink things, but it's to look from this state of meditation, to take a look at what our ego and our superego are saying. And you can recognize it because one usually talks about the future, and one usually talks about the past. And one is kind of often, bumping you up, and one is often kind of tearing you down. And the two of them can create a real ping pong and create so much noise. And actually they're within our body, they function like balloons. So they can blow up so much that this crossroads, which exists here at the optic chiasma, it's the crossing here at the Agnya Chakra, gets blocked and you can't get through to Sahasrara. So one of the lovely things that we can do is to write it down. So I'm going to invite you to actually grab a piece of paper if you like. I've got my nice colorful journal and a pencil. If you don't have one handy, you can use your device. I like to write because sometimes I don't get as distracted as I would on a device. And I'm an actor, as you know, so I'm going to invite us to make a little script here. And really from Sahasrara, from this meditative state that we've established, to jot down what these things, this ego and this superego, say to you. You can give them a name if you want in your script. There's a quote that I wanted to share with you, which is C.S. Lewis, another wonderful writer, talks about how when we go to heaven, we won't be able to bring even the smallest and most intimate souvenirs of hell. There's no room for it. It's like we can't, it's the same if you translate it for us. When we go into meditation, when we really establish ourselves in Sahasrara, we can't pack a carry-on bag of our stress and our worries and our negative self-talk. But we do tend to try because some part of us thinks we still need that to get by. So what helps is to write it down. So for me, my ego is a perfectionist. And so if I was going to write a line for my ego, I might say, you have to do it better. then my superego might jump in, and might kind of tear me down again. So it might say something like, why is this so hard for you? You know, it should be easy, whatever it is that I'm talking about. Why is it so hard? So you're going to know a little bit better than I would what they say. And then, of course, after you've written a line for them in your little scene that you're writing here, jot down something for you. And I'm going to suggest that you keep what you say very simple. Because the thing is, the ego and the superego love it when we get into a fight with them. They actually dig it because it means we're engaging, we're getting pulled into this conversation of our thoughts. So the best way to stop them dead in their tracks is to say, I forgive. Or, not this. Not now. Or another good one is, I let it go. I let go. I surrender. So pick your favorite. And let's just take about 3 or 4 minutes and just see if you can identify what the little voices are saying to you of the ego and the superego. Your response can also be a laughing emoji, because laughter is one of the strongest antidotes, especially to the ego. Just write a little giggle into your script if it says something silly. Don't forget to put in those lines for yourself. I forgive. I surrender. And the ever popular laughing emoji. Another useful thing is to notice the messages that come from outside or from the society. So here in America, North America, I should say, we live in quite an egotistical society. It's accepted and expected for you to talk yourself up. And the advertisements that we're exposed to, a lot of them play upon the ego, you know, saying things like, you know, go on, buy it, you deserve it. You know, it's like pumping you up, right? And in other cultures, it may be more prevalent, you know, the superego is a lot of what will your parents think? What is the society's expectation of you? It's a very traditional society. You may get a little stuck in this superego. So try and identify what your society may also be saying to you. And you can write those lines down too. And then again, write down the antidote. What we're doing by doing this is we're activating, we're accessing our power of the witness state, which is our ability to identify with our spirit. And as a result, all these thoughts happen in front of us like a play. And like an audience at a play, we can laugh and perceive what's going on without getting involved. For example, I just wrote down a line for my ego that says, "Perfect is the only acceptable option." Which, like, once you write it down is ridiculous, you know? But there have been moments in my life where subtly, without writing it out, without saying it out, some part of me has been thinking that way. And so this is actually one of the really strong powers of your meditation, to establish you in your meditation, is the ability to recognize when something like that is talking to you. And the funny thing is, it can even happen with your meditation if you've done it for long enough. So I grew up meditating, and I had to detach the essence of it for myself from my conditionings around it. You know, like somewhere along the line, some part of me decided that meditation was a very serious business, you know, and I would sit down and I would get quite grim about meditating. And in fact, Sahaja Yoga is such a joyful, when you're in this state of meditation, you're so spontaneous, you're so at peace. That's the essence of the experience, right? It's not an idea, it's an experience. So the ability to write that down and then go, oh, well, that's silly. Is going to help you sustain this state of meditation throughout your day, because the ego and the superego are your buttons. Have you ever heard this phrase, someone's pressing your buttons? Those are the buttons. Those buttons stop working because you're not identified with it. You're like, oh, they're talking again. You're free. So take a look at what you've written. And you can open your hands. We'll take a meditative moment here. And just pick out one of those lines and just give a nice bandhan to your Agnya chakra. You can even choose the section of your Agnya if you want. And just, you can say it out loud or inside. I forgive. And then pick another one. I surrender. So say your lines in the face of this silliness that you've jotted down here. And when you're satisfied, return your attention to the crown of your head, to your Sahasrara. And I'm going to share a little song with you that I wrote. It's going to be a little rough because I just wrote it recently. It's like a nice dramatic musical theater style song. And the message of it is actually to the ego. In doing this type of exercise, I realized that my ego tends to talk a bit like a tyrant. It's like a thing. It's like, you always have to do better. You have to go further. Da, da, da. You know, this perfectionism thing can become quite tyrannical. So I wrote a song that's like, take a step back. This song is called Moving Day. Because it's like, pack your bags. Stop talking to me like that. So just enjoy this song, and you can stay in meditation while I'm sharing it with you. And if you like, you can join in with the chorus and send your little voices packing as well. You've been clinging to me like a fire clings to what it burns, and I watched you brighten while I burnt down. Now that the tide has decided to turn, it's time that you learned to do without. You've been asking questions I can't answer. Why not step out and find your own light? This is what I'm saying to you now. You're free to go. This is how I'm answering your call. I'm letting go. I thought you loved me like Midas used to love his daughter, but your every kindness turned me to stone. I wish that you could have loved my laughter, my mess and my wildness, my hot and cold. Now you're asking questions I can't answer. Why not stop this? Let go of your hold. Yeah, you looked like a shortcut, but you're just a dead end. Thought you would break me, but I learned how to bend and bend and bend. Love is not possession. Do you hear this? I'm giving back your strings attached gifts. Yeah, love is not possession. How could it be? It's so free. Yeah, this is what I'm saying to you now. You're free to go. This is how I'm answering your call. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I don't need you now. I'm letting go. It's moving day. It's moving day. So we can remain in meditation. And hopefully all that stuff has gone running after that song. And we can go ahead and listen to a speech from Shri Mataji, which is the completion of a speech that some of you started watching before about Buddha and the topics that we've been exploring. So we can watch that speech now.
Because Buddha just did that. From everywhere he collected people, told them to follow a path of detachment, and he asked them to wear clothes and things which are for detachment, and he asked that you should detach yourself from your families, everything. All this he did for one thing, that they should be prepared for today's life. That they have done all these things. We don't want you to wear orange dresses. We don't want you to do all these wrong things, which are not needed today. They were all right in those days, but today they are wrong because they are not needed. When it is not needed, why should you carry on your head? Like the other day, I saw somebody carrying a big boat on his head. I said, what are you doing? So I'm carrying the boat. For what? Why are you carrying the boat? Said, you see, I know there is no need to carry the boat here because there is no sea, no water, nothing. But I am just carrying. But why are you carrying this load upon your head? No, because I am carrying, That is how we are. We are carrying on with things which are not needed. Like Mother, now I have been doing Hatha Yoga. Should I do some Hatha Yoga? Why do you want to do it? There is no need for you. No, Mother, but I have been doing it. Do it now, what to do? It's as stupid as this carrying a boat on your head. That whatever is not needed, unnecessarily wasting your time. I am used to this, Mother. I used to do this, so I must do it. Everything is made very easy for you, sir. Very simple. You don't have to starve, you don't have to fast, you don't have to become vegetarians, you don't have to go and sit in the sun or meditate on Himalayas, nothing of the kind. Comfortably you can sit down wherever you like and you can meditate. Everything made easy. And once you have found out your spirit, you can enjoy everything that's beautiful. On the whole, maybe for some people this is really too much. In a Sahara desert, you are sitting, everything blowing on your head. What is this? How can we live here? Such a rough life. But you don't feel that way because you have the comfort of the spirit within you. It's the comfort of the spirit. And for the comfort of spirit, you don't need anything. That's what you have. So do not carry on with nonsensical things. Because Buddha went round and round as we came today to this program, I was just thinking like Buddha. Going from this end, again coming from this end, then I couldn't find it, then that end, then coming this way. Ultimately we reach a this is blocked. I said, give him a bandha. Finished. Open. So this was blocked, that was blocked, go this way, that way. All right, it was blocked for him. So he went round and round. but it's not blocked for you. Why do you want to go round and round again? But that is what today everybody wants to do the same way. We must sacrifice, we must give up this, we must do that. What are you going to sacrifice? What is there to sacrifice? I would like to know, Sadhguru. Of course, mostly people sacrifice their brains, I think. When nothing is to be sacrificed, why do you want to become a goat of sacrifice? So from Buddha's life, you don't have to learn that he went in the jungles and he did this and he did also renunciation, he gave up his wife. No, that's not needed now. That's over. This is where we fail and we cannot explain to people that those who say, but we must have renunciation. Renunciation we have from within, like the sand as I told. Detachment we have from within. But this is compassion. Pure compassion is the most detached. It's the most detached thing is the pure compassion. Or anything pure is pure because it is detached. It's a proper mathematics. Anything that is pure has to be detached. If it is attached, it is contaminated. See the logic? Absolute mathematics is there. If you have pure love, then you are detached. Now supposing you love mother, or I take that. Now you have, say, pure love for her. Then you won't get angry if I don't come to your house. You won't feel disappointed if I can't sit in your car. You won't feel unhappy because I could not touch your sari. No. Because I just love mother, finished. It ends up there, just pure love. Of course I know these weaknesses, so I try to please you, all right. But actually if you really love me, it's all right, I love her. And she loves me, finished. Whether she comes to my house or not, whether she gives me a present or not, whether she pats me or not, whether I can see her or not, whether I can meet her or not, makes no difference, I love her. That's the purity of love. Where there is no expectation of any kind, except that I love, and that love is the ocean of enjoyment and the ocean of bliss. Finished. Is the easiest thing to do, is to love. Just love. How your heart is like an ocean. I just love. The sea is not attached to any shore. When it has to come, it comes out. When it has to go back, it goes. When it has to give water for the rain, it gives. The water goes as the clouds are formed, then the water falls as rain. Again it comes back to the sea. It doesn't stop anywhere. In the same way, if we just think, is the feeling I have that I love mother, what a feeling it is. That should be the end of everything, absolutely. I feel the same way, otherwise I would be feeling every day guilty. Oh, I didn't smile at that, I didn't give present to this one, I should have brought something special for that person, I was late for the program. But I don't feel guilty because it's all managed. If I had come earlier, all these hecklers would have been there to trouble us. So all the horrible people disappeared and we had the right people. Then I sat down through. I didn't say I'm going back. There is no need to be nervous. If mother is late, there must be some plan. If she is early, there must be some plan. If she is going by this plane and not by the other, there must be some plan. Not to doubt it. If she is doing something, must be some plan. Mother has her own plans. It's a nice idea to think like that. She has her own plans. Once you start feeling that way, such security and such beautiful peace will spread in your being, and you will be quite satisfied. Now everybody brings food for me. Look at that. When I see that, I get a fright, Baba. Look at that. I was supposed to test it, but even testing will be so much. But I have to eat, because if I don't touch one of them, then they will think, why didn't mother touch? Must be something. This is a very big problem for me, to keep you happy and to assure you. But I assure you that I love you all very much. Whether you bring food for me or flowers for me or anything, does not matter. When I am leaving Bogota, my heart is wrenching out. I see the wrench of my heart, I see. Because I am leaving all the new babes there. That's all. Then I just don't want to face, the thing. I feel, oh God, just see, I am leaving them. But because I love them. So I see, because I love them, I feel it. It's not. Even this pain is all right, because I love them. I enjoy that pain, because I love them. And then I come here and see all of you standing at the airport. Whole thing is fulfilled again. Just not because you have come, because I have come to love you. All this is such a beautiful rapport and such a beautiful feeling. I want you all to enjoy this and not petty things and small things which spoil your joy. These are all joy killers. And that's why the greatest joy killer is the ego nonsensical, which tells you, oh, why didn't mother do this or do that? It's the ego part of it. That's why we have to think of Buddha and celebrate his Jayanti within ourselves, to establish him, to say that this ego cannot take away our joy. Anywhere such idea just comes into your head, tell them, now Mr. Ego, I know you very well. In the light of Buddha, you can see your ego very clearly. And he is the killer of your ego. He is the one who finishes off your ego. So today, we have to pray for the whole of America, which is really suffering from this nonsensical, mythical ego, which is being exploited by everyone. People are befooling them, the media is befooling, all the doctors are befooling, all the psychologists are befooling, all the governments are befooling. I don't know, everybody is befooled because they have got ego. If they had no ego, they could not have been befooled. All these advertisements and all this hocus pocus that's going on is because human beings have ego and they can't see. So we have to say, Mother, please take away this curse of ego from Americans and America.
We can remain in silent meditation for a couple moments, just absorbing what Shri Mataji has said. As Shri Mataji has said, there's a first step, which is to dismiss, to let go of this ego and superego. Like the guy carrying a boat on his head, first you got to put that down. And the question is then, what happens in the space that is created? What fills that space where our thoughts used to be? And the answer is light. The answer is that light of the divine energy comes into our head. Shri Mataji mentioned Buddha and how we have so much to learn from him. Another personality who had this quality of light was Jesus. I know there's a lot of different associations with him from different traditions in the West, but setting aside those conditionings, he was a person of great humor and great compassion and great forgiveness. And the Lord's Prayer, which he taught, is a really good mantra, actually, to cross from Agnya to Sahasrara, because it takes our attention onto our brotherhood and sisterhood towards others, our forgiveness, our love, as Shri Mataji described. And in that love, we reach the Sahasrara, which you know is shown like a 1,000-petaled lotus. That's where the love blooms, and where everything about our personality gets integrated. And where we can integrate with each other. It's a union, a yoga, which means union, that is freedom. We are making the choice to forgive and to surrender. So once again, within ourselves, we can make this simple request to the Mother Kundalini. Please rise. Please establish me in Sahasrara. And fill me up with those waves of love, that is free, that is unattached. I'll share one more small song. On this theme. Our Father, who art in heaven, holy be thy name. Forgive us as we forgive each other. And now in glory let us light the flame. Our Father, O King of heaven, to you we vow our strength, and in devotion to you and to our Mother. Oh, now in glory let us light the flame. Our Father, the light of heaven, thank you for your love. Take hands now, and rising with each other. Oh, now in glory let us light these flames. Oh, now in glory let us light these flames. We can complete our meditation by once again raising our Kundalini and putting Bandhan. As we do these familiar gestures, we can express our gratitude to the motherly energy that's nurtured us throughout this meditation tonight. Thank you for coming on this journey. I'll hand it off to Sylvia for any final announcements as we wind down.
Purnima, it's beyond now the thinking and talking, isn't it? That was just so beautiful. And so let's maintain our silence in our heart and in our mind while we just get a little clue that on Thursday, we'll explore meditation more deeply, and especially the effortlessness as it relates to getting into meditation, by letting that Mother Kundalini guide our attention to Sahasrara and above. So another aspect of effortlessness in our meditation and letting Mother Kundalini do the work. And that will be continuing our journey within day 60. So at this time, you're all invited to join experienced practitioners in breakout rooms. To speak Spanish, please escriba on el chat that you would like to have a breakout room in Spanish language. Otherwise, you'll be just sorted into a regular breakout room. You can put that in the chat in English. So we'll end silent meditation with music. There won't be Q&A tonight. And again, you can also write in the chat if you want to meet one-on-one with an experienced Sahaja Yoga meditator. With that, we'll conclude the formal part of the session in the main room, and hope we see you all on Thursday, continuing our journey within into thoughtless awareness effortlessly. Namaste. Good night, everyone. Thanks again, Purnima.
Thank you. My pleasure. Good night, everybody.